Good morning. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon. Hello. Welcome back for another stream of Plane Shift. We have a picture of the day. A lot of dark spots. I think that's the light map that is not high enough. Anyway, we have a new release out since few days, since a week, which is 0747, which is fixing some of the bugs that were in the previous release. So you're more than welcome to test it out, see how it looks on your computer, if it plays well or not. And yup. So today I want to finish the work we did yesterday. Actually, this morning I did a bit of work on that. So I created a new natural resource respawn event. And this one is actually very simple. In terms of parameters, it's just taking the delay ticks and the natural resource, and when it triggers, it's basically calling what we were calling right before. So this is basically choosing, chooses a new random location and a new random spot, and spawns the resource, right? And also set the available remaining quantity to max, right? So it is pretty much what this thing is doing. Hello, Hula. Hey. How are you today? So yeah, we have to briefly finish that, and then we can think to save and load the dungeon. Saving and loading the dungeon is useful for a number of other things, right? Because if we make our dungeon more permanent, then we can also use them, maybe use multiple dungeons in the world. We can use them for quest. I don't know, we can have more, Now you can already build a dungeon manually. You can just randomize it, but yeah, I think it's fine. So we will test. We will test this. Now, as we said, yeah, the other thing we wanted to do, we wanted to have the amount to be variable, right? So not always the same amount. Yeah. The problem of that is no, we can do it. We can do it because when we spawn, yeah, this remaining amount, right? So so how much we want the variation to be? We want the variation to be like plus 20%. So like the current amount is the minimum you get, and you may get more than that. So like the current amount is the minimum, and we do like 20% more. I am fine. Yes, I am fine is correct. I am fine is correct. Your English is improving, Hula, by watching the stream and playing plane shift, right? Yeah, I'm thinking that if we have a resource that says 4, I think it would be nice if we give a bonus, right? So 4 is kind of the minimum, and 20, we do 20%, right? Or we can do up to 25% more. Now, if we do up to 25% more of a value of 4, there would be only 1, right? So do we want to have like a 25, or do we want to have from 0 to 25? Which anyway, out of 4 will always be 1, but out of 10, you know, it may be more interesting. Yeah, I think we should yeah. So I think we do this. We take the remaining amount, right? We take the remaining amount. We multiply it by 25%, right? So 1.25, and this will be our max amount, you know. So we can say add 25% to the max, right? And this will be that out of 4 is just 1, right? So this will have to be anyway rounded. We can round it up, right? We can seal it. I think we should seal it. I think we should seal this. And so this will be the max items, right? This will be the max items. And then what do? We randomize a number between, we randomize an integer between amount and, yeah, probably. So the chosen amount is a random between the two numbers. Huh? Does that sound okay to you? Between max items, no, sorry, between res amount and max items, right? And it is an integer randomization, right? So yeah, I think it's good. So it's not always the same, right? It's not always the same. So it's slightly different. And if you have resources that actually have more spots, I don't know how many spots we should have, right? So we should be a reasonable number for sorry, not how many spots, how many items per spot. How many items per spot? But when I think about it, it's possible you're not the best English teacher. Yeah, true. Because you will say a lot of "Mamma mia," you know. You will say a lot of Mamma mia! Okay. So that's, in theory, that's done. So we can test it. We can test it. So what we want to see, we want to see the one resource spawning, and then we want to see that when we harvest, it may be more than 4, potentially 5. And then we want to see that when it disappears, it will take the scheduled amount of time, which is 20 seconds plus 5 random, to actually respawn in another location. And then it will respawn in another location, right? I think it would be nice to have an effect. I don't know, I'm thinking if we could have an effect of Unreal Engine fade in spawn item fade in, something like that. So how do you do that? I mean, it should be a kind of an effect, right? Yeah, all materials should be instances of the same material, and then you have the one material parameter for the fade. Yeah. I mean, it can also be a particle effect. I guess if you put a particle effect in front of it, will look like is. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel it's a bit rough, you know, to have just the item pop, right? Like disappear. I think it's kind of annoying that it just disappears. I think it would be nicer if it can. It's always here. Anyway. Okay, so this one could be 4 or 5. Hello, Funner. So that's 1. Is more you use only what you know, and with time I see you know everything. Yeah, I mean my vocabulary is good, but it's not crazy. Did we harvest only 3 times or what? I think we harvest only 3 times. Okay, so now in 20 seconds, there it is. Another one appeared in 20 seconds, right? Which is this one. I think we harvest only 3 times though, which is kind of weird, no? Did we harvest only 3 times? One. Three is not possible. Wow. Only 2 times? Why only 2 times? My random function doesn't work, evidently. Yeah, but it is working. The new, you see, the new grass appears after some time, so at least the timed function works, right? Did we put 2? Probably because I changed it. I put 2 in the database. Yeah, that's why. I put 2 in the database. So with the 2, actually, it can be 2 or 3. Yeah. It's good. So it worked. Hello, Connor. I hope your RAM is looking more normal. Yeah, I removed. I mean, every day I remove the ARM support, right? And I remove it every day. So yesterday also I removed it like every day, and I was trying to move it around, do some small exercise, right? Exercise just by like moving my arm up and down a bit, and so if this is me, and this is my arm, somehow I'm getting better at painting with the left. So it in the elbow, right? So I was it is the elbow. So I was trying to just move it a bit, you know, like this direction, up and down, right? So just move it up and down, like that. I cannot really move much this part because this part is still a bit problematic, right? So if I do this is kind of painful still, and I cannot really move it much. So, but this part, yes, I can move it okay. And so I was doing this, and I really felt better, right? It felt like a normal arm again. So I think that at the moment I'm doing this movement a bit, and I guess that 1 week more, right? So with 1 week more, I will start to do this as well, more and more, right? Trying to, and probably I will also start to do more this, right? So trying to rotate in this direction. So yeah, I think it's getting, my feeling is that it's getting better pretty quick. It looks like to me that is improving kind of quick. I don't know how the people with how do you say the gesso in plaster cast? Okay. These people, right? I don't know how the people with a hard, because my support is soft, right? I can remove it, I can move it a bit, But I don't know how the people with a hard one can really recover, right? Because I think if you leave your muscles 1 month, right, or more without moving them, I mean, is really. I think your body is really suffering on that, right? So. In my case, likely is much simpler. Okay, so we can. So the good news is that all of this works, right? All of this works. So we can actually harvest and have the location regenerate somewhere else, right? Which is fantastic. So it really works well. We didn't test the two people harvesting the same resource, right? But maybe we can try. Maybe we can try. It becomes weak, right? Yeah. Yeah, if you exercise, but I think it will take way more time to recover, right? In that case, because you have to start from a very weak. From a very weak spot. I mean, muscle. Okay, so. Now the point is, if I give to this guy my tool, right? And I spawn another tool. My inventory is full, but I can. Okay. Okay. So if I do this, no. Okay, so let's say that both of them. Let me just give some harvesting skill to this guy, otherwise it would be impossible for him to. Okay. So what I want to do, I would like to start harvesting with this guy, and I would like to start harvesting with the other guy at the same time, right? No. You cannot harvest because you're carrying too much weight. What do you mean, bro? Let's drop this. Okay, how much weight is now? Okay, now the weight is okay. Yeah, because we were testing the overweight the other day, right? Okay, but I think it may disappear now, right? So what I want to test if this thing disappears while the other guy is harvesting, right? What happens, right? So it should disappear here. Yeah. It did. But we remained in the harvest animation. So here we got the Aurelifia, but this guy didn't. So the server didn't crash, it looks like. So it seems that it's working as intended, but my guy remained in the animation. Why? My guy remained in the animation. That's the first time that happens, right? I think the only solution is to sit down. Why the guy remained in... Why the guy remained in the animation? The resource is depleted. No one got this message though, right? In theory, the second guy should have got that message, but it didn't. Strange. Why have a physical stamina of 0 with this guy? Physical stamina of 0. Why? Pam 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 pam. Pam 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 pam. Yeah, physical stamina is kind of annoying. I had to have a leg cast for like 6 weeks. Thankfully, I was back in high school and managed to regain my strength because of doing gym in high school. Ah, I see. So you have done that. I don't understand why we got that message, right? I mean, why we got the message? I mean, why my guy remained stuck? Because in theory, if you are successful or if you are not successful, like in this case we were successful, and we also got so we got a message, you got some blah blah blah, right? On this client. You got some Aurelifia, exactly. So we got that. And now the question is, why? So you see, we always go peace, right? We always go peace. We always go peace. So how it is possible that our guy was still playing the animation? Because he's playing the animation if this doesn't happen, right? That is very, 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 very strange. Uh-oh. It seems to happen all the time when there is another character harvesting. But it only happens with our guy. That is very strange. Can switch mode. To piece, anyway, to mod piece is always true, right? So I don't think we are blocking here. By the way, it will go on forever, right? Yeah, it will go on forever. It's kind of strange, though. Let me try something else. Let me try something, because it seems that there is like a mistake in the way. There seems to be a mistake in the way the actual animation is played, right? So I would like to try to play the animation only with the second character and see if the first character is playing it as well. Because this is what it looks to me. So like if I start here... No. If I start here, only that guy is doing it. But if I start here... You cannot harvest because you are too tired. Bro, what do you mean? This fucking physical stamina is so annoying. I mean, it's too hard, right? And it's not recovering while you are standing, which is stupid. This physical stamina is too much, bro. There is something else we need to fix, because it doesn't make any sense that the physical stamina is so 11.6. Yeah, it's the same. So the second guy that starts. No, I mean the first guy that starts harvesting is having his animation stuck. How is that possible? The first guy that starts is stuck in the animation. Ah. The first guy that starts is stuck into the animation. What the fuck? I don't understand why that happens, really. Set mod message. Or I did something stupid and I didn't connect one line. So it's using. I don't know. Let me check in the editor. Maybe we didn't connect properly. Maybe we didn't connect properly one of the lines. I don't know. It's strange that the character remains on. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. So BP character, so the character receives the change of mode from work to peace, right? So there should be this function, set mode message, right? That is sent to all the clients. That is replicated with rep notify, right? To all the clients. So all the clients get that. All the clients get that. Wait a second. Shit. No, that is not correct. That is not correct. Yeah, that is not correct. Uh-oh. 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 But if this was the case, right? Then when I'm sitting, also the other guy should sit, no? Wait a second. I mean, if the mode is really fucked, right? But when I'm sitting, I can still move, right? I'm not... So for some reason, sitting does not work the same way. Because I can still move, right? I can still move. So why only harvesting? Why only harvest? Yeah, but this thing is not really correct, right? Because basically what I'm doing here, I am sending... Set mod message. Let me do this print out a second because I need to understand what is going on. I need to understand what is going on. I think we have a problem. I mean, it's good that we tested it, right? It's good that we tested it. The problem is that the set mode, right? The set mode rep notify is actually notifying through the character that something changed, right? And that is sent to all the clients, but actually it is going through the proper PS character, right? So if I say, yeah, I think so. Maybe we don't have a problem, but there must be something else then. There must be something else. Why sometimes I just respawn in the plaza and not in the location where I was? It's kind of weird, huh? Okay, so now we have the printout, right? So now we can see if I mean we can read the mode change, right? We can read the mode change. So if I just harvest with this guy, I should receive set most message work diabolic character C0, exactly. And come on, bro. And I didn't receive the same on... yeah. Set mod message work in Diabolic character C1. Okay. So... Why this thing is complaining? Widget 3? Widget 3, why? Widget 3 win stats. What? There is something, there is a division by 0. There is a division by 0 in widget 3 win stats. I don't know what is that. But anyway, it's polluting the freaking... It's polluting the log, so we cannot see well. But anyway, you are too exhausted to move. This is kind of annoying, though. No, I cannot do it, huh? I have to do... If I have more stamina, I mean, if I have more strength or more endurance, my stamina is going up way faster. But anyway, the message was correct, right? The message was correct. The message was correct. I think the division by 0 is when the stamina is 0. Yeah, because now we don't have that message anymore. So I think it's when the stamina is 0 is... okay. Okay, but now we want to see, right? We want to see when we harvest with 2 people. Why the hell... why the hell the first guy, which in this case is this guy, doesn't go in peace mode? You see? It does not go in peace mode. Set mod message peace in Diabolic character. Set mod message peace in Lemur character. Well, in theory it happened for both, yes. In theory it happened for both. No, but actually set mode peace, right, for Diabolic character actually happened. Peace stopping all montages. Peace stopping all montages. Why didn't message sit in Diabolic character? Message sit in Diabolic character, right? Message piece in diabolic character. Message piece in diabolic. So the message. It looks like the message is received, but it's not applied for some reason, right? It's not applied. So the message is received, but is not applied. How is this possible? And only when you are harvesting with 2 people. Because this happens only when you harvest with 2 people. If you harvest by yourself, it works, right? And it's always the first guy that starts the harvesting, which is the guy that is stuck, right? And in the printout, I have what? In the printout, I have the display name of what? I have the display name of the current character. I don't have the display name of the target actor. In theory, it should be the same. It is actually triggered on the client though. It's not triggered on the... Well, it should also be triggered on the server in theory. Should also be triggered on the server. Yes. It's also triggered on the server. Is also triggered on the server. And if his piece, right? And if his piece is doing this, so it's basically stopping all montages, right? Casting mode, combat mode, abilities mode. But actually ability. Ability is not the right one. Because we have harvest. That's a bit strange, huh? Because for harvesting, we have a separate montage, right? So it looks like that montage is actually not getting stopped when you send a piece message. So why it is stopped otherwise, right? Why when you just play it by yourself it works? That is a kind of a mystery. I mean, I understand that when the two people are harvesting, you receive two messages, right? That's fine, but you receive that message only for the proper character, right? Because you get it for the proper character. So it doesn't seem to be a problem of... It doesn't seem to be a problem that we are sending the message for the wrong character, because he's explicitly saying Diaboli, right? He's explicitly saying Diaboli. So you see, set mod message piece in Diaboli M, stopping all montages. So this client is this client, right? And anyway, we got it also on the other side. Set well, set mod message. And actually it is doing it in both clients, right? So both clients see that guy still harvesting. I don't understand how is that how it is possible. I don't understand how it's possible. It's like if one of the two piece messages is actually not happening. You see, if I harvest by myself, everything works. If two people harvest, at the same time, the point is that it's at the same time the weird thing. Because if I harvest now, right, it's not that the other guy is gonna start harvesting, I guess, right? Exactly. So the problem is only when both people are harvesting the same spot. I don't understand what is going on, guys. I really don't understand it. Also because we received the stop message, right? Well, let's say that we received a stop message on the client. So the server gets both, right? Gets Diaboli and Lemur. This one gets Diaboli only. This one gets Diaboli only. And this one gets Lemur only. Why? I don't understand why the other guy. Yeah, but it's true though, and we get only our own peace message. We don't get the peace message of the other guy. But still, you know, here I am the Diaboli, right? I am this guy. So if I get stop all montages in this guy, I should do it, right? Unless it's something else. Unless the broadcast of the end harvesting is somewhere else, is not in the piece. Because actually, yeah, you know what? I think I'm looking in the wrong place. Because I think that... Because the actual harvesting animation, right? Harvesting animation is actually not... We should play this animation, right? We should play this animation. So there is like client side. We should play this animation take table. Yeah. We should play this animation take table. Yeah. And you also receive, we should play the animation take table for the other guy. Okay, but then who is stopping? Ah, okay. I see. Yep. I think this delay node can run only once. You cannot have two delay nodes in the same function called twice by the server. So I think that the delay node is lost. Is actually overridden somehow. Yep. That's the mistake. I think that's the mistake. I think if I change the delay node with a timer function. The problem is that I will have to send. Yeah, so in theory, the best would be that we stop the animation montage when the actual harvesting is finished. So we could actually force okay, we cannot solve it now because this requires a client update and I don't want to do it now. So this will remain a problem. But I think we can do this. We can put it in the list of stuff to do. We will have, I mean, I will have to test it a bit, but can we save this? Wait a second. Let's save this to let's save to 0748, right? 0748. So 0748 0748. Yeah. We have that problem. I think it was a bit stupid the way I did it, because with the delay, I didn't think that the delay could actually be a problem, but it is. It is. This fix it on chair is like the most obscure problem ever. So this is all stuff that we did, right? Yeah. This is all stuff that we have to do. But let me add this one. Let me add this one in the list. So basically, in the receive animation on client, right? We use a delay. And this is and it is breaking. When two clients are harvesting the same spot. Yeah, I think that happens because the engine cannot execute two separate delays in the same function. I think the delay, yeah, so I think we should really use a timer function. And I don't even know if the timer function will bug out, but we have to think about it. Yeah. Okay. We cannot fix it now, but at least we understood a bit what happens. I think it would be nice anyway in the piece to add yeah, I would say for safety add stop of harvesting montage on mode change piece, right? On mode change piece. Yeah. But it is a client change, so we cannot do it now. Cannot do it now. Can we check a bit this? Stamina calculations, right? Because this stamina calculation seems to be annoying. Now I don't know if it's the same in production. or in but it seems to be kind of very annoying. So let me check it a bit, because some people also said that it was not right in their point of view, so that too much stamina was consumed. So for this we have to use the production database, right? And I need to restart like that. I think stamina, okay, let's try to analyze stamina a bit. I would like to analyze it from the point of view of a player that has very, very low stats, right? So a player that has very low stats, and see what happens. I think I will enter with both clients because I think I need to set some stats on one or the other. I think if you're standing still, it should also regenerate, no? I mean, I understand if you are sitting, it should regenerate much faster. I'm fine with that. But if you are standing, right, it should regenerate very, very quick as well. I think we just need to increase the regeneration, basically. That's what we have to do. What's going on? Server doesn't start? Why? Why? There's a mistake in the definition, eh? Yeah, there's probably a mistake in the spawn definition. Exit requested. Just think that the server loads everything else while super annoying. Where the hell is this? Okay, it is. Yeah, I want to fix this. I think I don't like the fact that the server is proceeding. The server is proceeding loading even if we requested an exit, right? So I don't understand why that happens. I don't get it. I think I want to have a global variable, right, which is just saying we failed, right, to initialize one of the managers, and so we should just not continue. So I don't understand why we do game state begin play, right? So game state begin play. Exactly. I know exactly what to do because I want to change that because it's super annoying, right? Game state begin play. This thing, right, is proceeding even if we had an error, right? And And that makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. So if we had an like here we had an error inside Exchange Manager, right? And Exchange Manager is in the init. Exchange Manager, I think is in the game mode. No? Change exactly. So the game mode starts first. But the game mode does not have okay, request exit. Can we block it based on the request exit or no? Can we block it based on request engine exit, right? Force immediate exit. We want to cleanly exit from the main loop. Yeah, exactly. But is this thing setting any variable that I can actually read or not? Because I would like to catch this, right? I would like to catch this somehow. Set engine exit true. Okay. Set engine exit true. Encached session is exit requested. Is engine exit requested? Okay. I don't understand what is, but GI. So if basically my question is, can I, from game state, right, here, after this, can I do a check? Can I call this function or no? I think I can. So if we requested a engine exit, right, I don't want to load anything, right? I just want to return, right? I don't want to do anything. So if my plane shift base game mode requested an exit, right? Requested an exit, right? Then just return, right? So we don't want to, yeah. Okay, let me just see if this is doing, because it's super annoying that we load stuff even if we already requested an exit to the previous error, right? So it doesn't make any sense. And there is something that has been like this since ever, and it should not be like that. Should it not be like that? By the way, Hula, you forgot to remind me the marketplace, but I checked it yesterday, and there was some stuff on the marketplace which is expiring in a few days again, so because the marketplace now is not anymore, you know, like the month. Before it was the month, now it's not the month anymore. Pam para pam pa pam pa pam pam. Okay, I want to see what happens now, right? So now if I launch it, it should exit, and it should exit immediately, hopefully. Right? Without trying to load a million other things. Dun, 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 dun. Also, this division by 0 in the stamina progress bar. Let me put it here. Division by 0 in stamina progress bar. I think it's probably the same also in many other places, but okay, the server now quit. Let me see if this time was more reasonable. Yes. Oh, finally. So you see, now we have an error here. We have an error here, and the server just exits, right? So it doesn't try to load everything else, right? It just exits. Okay. So the error is that the item group 500 is less entry than requested in active locations. Okay, nice. So we should add some active locations, just reduce the just reduce 500, 500. We are requesting 2 locations. And here we have only 1. Okay. Good. This is a good thing, huh? Like that. Now the location in theory can also be the same. Now it's kind of stupid that it's the same, so it should never be the same, but let's move it 1 meter and 1 meter. Okay, so now the server should start. And we can check this stamina, the stamina thingy. You remember me, but it was too focused? Okay. Okay. Okay then. I think I will eat an apple, half of an apple that I have from yesterday. Where is that half apple? Half apple. Apple. Ah, it's here. You see? Half apple. Well, let's say a quarter. Let's say a quarter of an apple, because if half an apple is too much work with one end. With one end is too much work. Reminded. Like that, reminded. Reminded. So people are complaining on stamina. Now, what is the minimum stamina? No, the minimum stats. I think probably 40. I think probably 40 is kind of the minimum. So let's set this guy to 40. Momires, eh? So we set agility to 40, charisma to 40. I want all of them. Endurance to 40. Intelligence to 40. And will to 40. Okay, so now and strength. Okay, I missed strength. And strength to 40. So now Momires is very weak. Right? Now, I don't know if he has any body development. Body development. 5. Let's set also body development to 0. Body development to 0. Body development to 0. Okay. Okay, so now this guy is like a fresh noob with very low stats, right? Very low stats. So my question is, how much is his physical stamina? 200? What the fuck? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's 200. $200? Is the minimum 200? Let me relog. I will relog with Momires, so every calculation is redone. Probably 200 is the minimum. How much I have here? I have 1,000. Okay. Maybe 200 is the minimum. But now the question is, yeah, 200. Okay. 200. So if I run, is the stamina going down? Yep, it is. 199. So I can run for how much? I can sprint actually, because running mean, it seems it never goes down anyway. Yeah, it's 172. And anyway, when you are standing, is recovering, right? When you are standing, is recovering fairly quick. So why someone said that we had a problem with this? Why? Why? Someone said that stamina, new players unable to use some crafting due to high stamina usage. Currently trying to hammer heated ingots into a knife takes so long and use so much physical stamina that some new players are unable to do it. Okay. It takes so long and use so much stamina. Trying to hammer heated ingots into a knife alpha blade. Trying to hammer heated ingots. But to hammer I need an anvil, I need a hammer, I need a bunch of stuff. No? I mean, I wanted to understand this, but... Heated what? Heated iron ingots? Heated ingots. I don't know if it's iron or steel or whatever. What book do I need? For sure not the Drinks of the Dawn. Unlikely. I need Book of Blades. Let's try. All my crafting books. No. Okay, at the moment I have 200 stamina, right? Fuck. Probably it's not Book of Blades. There's no ingot here. Shape 5, heated steel. I need 5. I need 5. And I need steel ingots, not iron. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there are some bugs that take super long time to test just because you need to understand how to... I mean, you have to put yourself in the proper situation, right? Okay, we are working on that. Our stamina is going down so much. Yep. And so you will not finish that. True. Yeah, I will not. You will not be able to finish the thing because the stamina used is so much. Hey, but you are hammering. You are hammering a freaking thing. So I don't know. I mean, we can lower a bit. Yeah. So you are 0 stamina. You are too exhausted, and it's GG. And by the way, this is not even stopping the animation, by the way. So now you are like stuck forever in this mode. Strange that the peace mode... Yeah, because the peace mode again is not stopping the harvesting, right? And okay, at a certain point it stopped anyway. I stopped because he played the idle animation. Yeah, but I see the point. Okay, I see the point. I see the point. So is sucking so much stamina that you cannot complete it. Okay. So where do we decide how much stamina you use while hammering? That I have no idea. I think is a result. I think is a result of the crafting script, right? So basically, inside Work Manager handle production, in theory, right? Inside handle production somewhere here. So somewhere in this, Somewhere in this. Set stamina regeneration work. Set stamina regeneration work. Number skill ID. Ah, okay, so it's based on the skill. It's based on the skill. Really? Right. Wrong database. Wrong database, my friends. Okay. I mean, now it's the right database, but wrong window. Okay, so it's based on the skill. Price cost script. Calculate skill cost. Mental factor, practice factor. I don't see it. Maybe it's inside this, or mental factor is used. I don't know. Okay, let's see inside of this what happens. GM don't want to lose stamina when, yeah, okay. Actor, base regen, physical skill, bane, mental regen skill. Skill info, mental factor. We need a real formula for this. Yeah, I agree. Stamina drain needs to be set depending on the complexity of the task. Skill info, mental factor. Define mental factor, stamina ratio, work evaluate. Yeah, it's this one. Is this one. So we have a script, so that can be changed fairly easily. It's called stamina ratio work. This is how it's called. It's called stamina ratio work. And it should be inside math scripts. Okay. So this is the formula. This is the formula that we use at the moment. So there is a physical stamina rate and a mental rate, right? And he's using anyway the mental factor. Ah, okay. So based on the skill, okay, I see. So the skill is determining. So this value here, right, mental factor, is determining the consumption. So like sword, for example, is 15, right? Knives and daggers is 20. And axe is only 5 for whatever reason. That is strange, huh? Magic seems to be very high. Magic is 90. Magic is 90. And I guess that's blacksmithing or what? That should be blacksmithing, right? Blacksmith, I think. This is the primary skill. It's actually 15, so it seems to be fairly low. I think this list has never been reviewed in like 20 years, so... Masonry is 10, brewing is 70. Bow making is 20. I mean, it would be nice to understand which skill are we using. If we are using the... Or maybe we're using blade making. Maybe we're using blade making. Blade making is what? 15. Knife making is 20. Skill no longer used if we use blade making. Okay. So it's 15. Okay, if I plug a 15 into this, what happens? Stamina is 100 minus... because it's one the reverse of the other. I see. So it's the value out of 100. Oi, 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 oi. So the lower it is, the higher it is. That's why. That's why. So if you say that the mental factor is 15, automatically your physical factor is 85. Your physical factor is 85. Oh wow. Your physical no, I fucked up. Your physical factor is 85. I see. So we do 100 minus 85. No, 100 minus 15, which is 85. And we get... wait, let me do it in an Excel a second. Let me do it. Okay, this guy continuously wants to reload that because the server is running. Which is okay. I think those values have never been reviewed in very long time. Very, very long time. But anyway. So what this is saying is that my physical and my... What? My physical and my mental, right? Come on, bro. So, again, if I say 15... Right, the physical will be 100 minus this, while the mental will be this, right? Because it evens out on 100, right? So this is my skill, and no, my skill. Let's say the skill setting, skill fatigue or whatever. Let's call it skill fatigue, right? Skill fatigue is 15, right? So, yeah. So what happens is that... How's the formula working, right? So there is this minus this, okay, I understand. And then it's doing what? It's doing base regen physical minus 6 multiplied by, I have no idea what is the base regen physical, but I think that is given from your I think this is given, it is calculated from your physical stats, right? Base regen physical is get race info, base regen, race info, music. So yeah, that's probably based, there is race based, so every race has a different potentially, but I think they are all the same. Yeah, so it's taken from the race, it's not taken from the stats. That is interesting. So in theory, what it's saying is that it's based on this. Yeah. Oh wow, it's different for all the races. Insane. Didn't know that. But let's say that it floats between 0.23 and 0.36, something like that. This seems to be the highest value, lowest value, no? Yeah. So the base stamina, rate is going between so let's say that the average, well, we can take the lowest. Let's take the lowest, 0.23, right? The maximum is 0.36. Yeah, that. Now, is it the same for physical and mental? No, it's actually different. Basic as feel regen steel, basic as physical regen walk. I don't know why it's taking the walk one though. I mean, it's not taking the walk, it's I think it's defining it based on another formula, actually. No, shit. It's defining it based on another formula, yeah. Get stamina ratio work. No, this base regen though should be set, right? Who is setting this? No, this is read. This is read directly from the table. Okay, it is read directly from the table. So this means that when we do this, we get the steel version of it. Okay, we get the steel version of it. So the steel version of it ranges from yeah, it's definitely different. It goes from 0.44 up to 0.7. 0.44 to 0.72. So it's kind of the minimum maximum. So it's taking that, it's doing -6. I don't know why 6, but anyway. And it is different if it's physical or mental, right? But fine, let's say that it's taking this. Let's take the minimum, right? The minimum minus 6.0 multiplied by 100 minus E8, right? Divided by 100. While this one is without the 100 minus, right? Okay. So this seems to be the result, minus 4.66. So we are draining 4.6 a second. I think that is yeah, I think this is the drain every second. There is the drain every second. So if I have 200, right? If I have 200 and I divide it by 4.66, right? I will be able to work for 42 seconds, after which I will be exhausted, right? 42 seconds. Now 42 seconds, it's kind of a long time, right? Yeah, but it's exactly working that way. It's exactly removing 466 per second. And so this means that this thing is lasting so long, right? Is lasting so long that you are exhausting your stamina. I see. Yeah. So how do we? I mean, we are already at 0. So 42 seconds passed already. Really? I think it's even a bit faster than that. But okay, so this is how the calculation works. So what do we want to do? I mean, one way is to shorten the time, but shortening the time. So is this alpha blade, whatever, something that people do? Because the time shortens based on your skill, right? Based on your skill. So even if I'm at 0, he allows me to do it, right? Even if I'm at 0, he allows me to do it. I mean, we can reduce a bit. We can reduce a bit. The easiest is to change that 6, right? So if we change this 6 and we do, instead of 6, 4, right? They would already really drain it so little in comparison. Now the problem is that it's not a percentage of your total stamina. So let's say that a player that is way higher rank will draw. I mean, we can change it to 4 and see if it's any better, but I think if we change it to 4, it will be -2, so you will have basically double the time, right? It will be -2.96 instead of -4.66, so it will be, I mean, not half, but anyway, it would be like 30-something% less. Will that allow you to actually complete the work? Probably not, because when we finish our stamina, we were not even at 50%, right? Yeah, but it seems to be exactly that much per second, yeah. Yeah. So here we are about 50% and we finish our stamina. a bit more. I think if I remove 2 is not enough. Now now the problem is that the stamina is not even modified for what I see, right? It's not even modified by your stats. No? Because the base regen is on your race. And the skill mental factor is on the skill. And there is nothing else in between. Well, you will have more stamina, right? You will have more total stamina as you grow. I understand. I don't know, we can lower it, but this may unbalance pretty much everything, right? So because then, you know, other players... so the solution would be... the solution to this would be to lower the stamina requirements, or in the skill required. So we will have to go on skills and actually change the mental factor for blades making, which at the moment is 15. It could be made, I don't know, 20, 25. Note, the stamina while working, while hammering is determined by 2 factors. The skill mental / physical stamina required, right? So it is skills mental factor, and the race regeneration. Well, the base regeneration. I don't know exactly. I mean, we take the base regeneration, we remove 6. What? No. What did I do? Okay. The race regeneration rate, and the race regeneration rate is in race info. Is in race info. Yeah, base physical regen still. Right. So let's say a player with so a player race with little physical strength, physical traits, is not strength, with little physical traits will while trade while hammering for blade making will consume about 4.6 stamina per second, right? We consume about 4.6 stamina per second. And he may have about 200 total stamina. About 200 total stamina. Yeah, the process, I mean, depends really on the length of the process, right? The hammering duration, right? The hammering duration. The hammering duration depends on his skill and the materials and the materials used. But it can be over 1 minute. It can be over 1 minute. So this is where the problem comes from, right? So the problem comes from that if you are a race that is not really strong and your skill is 0 and you are trying to hammer a blade, you will exhaust yourself too early. Just because the process is lasting too long. Now we could change, I mean we could lower, right? We could lower the requirement of stamina for all the skills by reducing this value in we said math scripts in stamina ratio work. By reducing in the script stamina ratio work. Actually in the math script but I guess my question is how does stamina feel in the other while using, how does stamina feel while using other skills, using the other skills or at higher ranks? So basically the question is, do players in general feel that the stamina is too low or not? Because if we feel that it's too low, then we can change it. But if everyone is saying, no, I always have plenty of stamina, and we reduce it even more, then we basically make it useless, right? So this is a bit of my reasoning. So it is in this case for blade making, in this case for blade making skill. Yeah. So maybe that guy also had a race that was not very strong, but I mean in my case I'm testing with an Enki. But yeah, it's roughly that value. I don't think it's changing much between I mean, it is changing a bit, we would say, but it's a 0%, right? 0 dot something percent, so it's not massive. If we go back to the races, right? Yeah, we saw that. So, for example, if I take, I don't know, a Hammeriel, yeah, if I take a dwarf is 0.7, right? Maybe if I take a Lemur is probably the lowest, right? Number 10. Yeah, is one of the lowest. It is actually the lowest. If I take an Enki, number 1, it is already way higher, right? It is already 0.6. Now we are speaking 0 point something versus a -6, right? So it's not that you are really, it's not that the race is really doing much. But anyway, it's doing some, right? Because if you're losing like 4 every second or 3.5 every second, right, in a minute, is a lot of, is a big difference. But I don't know if I'm really keen on changing this without more testing and more player feedback. I mean, if it's only one guy that cannot do it, or if it's really... Do we have a stamina potion for regeneration? We should have. We can just buy a stamina potion and... We should have. We should have. We should have. Okay, well, I think we will abandon this problem. I understand it, but I don't think I want to fix it. At least I don't want to fix it without more information, right? Because changing that formula basically changes it for everyone and at all levels, and it's fairly invasive change. So, I'm not that inclined to do it. Yup. So okay. So should we switch then to the dungeon load and save, which is the reason I started the stream? No, the reason I started the stream was just to do some plane shift, but I would suggest that we just check in what we have. Yeah. First thing I want to do, I want to revert PS character, right? Because this one is... something that we did just now as a test. Second thing, yeah, we put this in. So improved the way the server handles errors and exit requests, right? Well, the server handles exit request when encountering errors. Yeah, that is something that we did, right? Then the second thing that we did, let me see, compare. Well, it's just a simple thing. Yeah, so the other big thing that we did, we basically changed the way, we added a new way of, yeah, I think that is the majority of the changes. So we can say added a new way to spawn a new way to spawn natural resources. Now a group of locations, right? A list of locations can be defined, and at server start, I don't want to explain it all here, but at server start n locations will be populated. Others will be used when the players deplete an active resource, an active resource spot. Yeah. So the other change, that is related to this is that now these spots, right? These spots can now be depleted. So that's the other big change, and I think that pretty much everything that we did here is related to that change, right? I would say yes. Yes, is the interval and blah blah blah. Yeah, everything is, all the changes are related to that. BPU we added okay, good. I think we can commit this stuff. Done. Okay, now the dungeon save and load. Wow. Dungeon save and load is so at the moment our dungeons can be regenerated randomly. I mean, can be randomized, and spawned at runtime, but we don't save their status, right? We don't save their status in any way. And what I was thinking, I don't know, I was about to do something, but I forgot about it. No, yes, I was trying to understand if we had a dungeon mission, right? For sure we had a dungeon mission. We had plenty of dungeon missions. Dungeon missions map, dungeon mission procedural, dungeon mission. Oh my god. Yeah, you see that here there is ability to save and load, which actually we never completed, right? We never completed. Look at how much stuff we did for dungeons. Holy shit. Oh my god. So, ability to save and load the dungeon. Save game file, server side. Yup, I agree. Rooms, location and rotation. Endings, location and rotation. Doors, loot position. Monsters, traps, and then re-randomize. Door locks, loot content, monster strength. Re-randomize monster strength. Well, is based on, well, that's kind of a re-randomize door locks. I don't know why. Why we cannot have also the door lock saved? But anyway, the first point, I mean, we can decide what to save and what not to save, but the first point is that we need a server-side only save game, right? It is something that we don't have at the moment. So we have a client-side save game where the player is saving a bunch of stuff, right? And I would say that if we have to do a server-side save game, I would probably do it in C++, right? I don't think we should do it. I think it would be nicer if we can do main. If we can do it in C++, right, it would be bad then. The full source code is available for the entire project. Holy shit. Action roguelike game, course project. This project is part of a professional game manager you are planning arranging course. We build this game project step by step. Engine version 5.5. Cool. There are some issues, dude. I mean, the only problem is that it is but there is a 5.4 branch. I think it would be cool to see what they did here. Why not? Let's try to see what they did. Maybe not on C drive, because our C drive is already suffering from significant lack of disk space. Uh-oh, it looks big. No. 800 megabytes. Reasonable. I don't know if he needs doesn't tell you what to do to launch it, right? But like if you need to start from a third-person project, or I think we will just generate generate project files and see what happens. Assuming that this is using, okay, let it finish first. Is using a real engine 5.4 in my E drive. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Oh wow, he also has a screenshot here. How you do that? That's nice. That's nice. I mean, if there is a bit of code, right, it's always nice to have it here so maybe we can refer to it. But yeah, I was just curious what these guys did. I was just curious what these guys did, code-wise. I don't understand the license of this, because actually he's saying that license for use with Unreal Engine only. So it's not very clear what, I mean, should have added license, I guess, but components, projectile, significant component, rock cheat manager, rock level over setting, twin system. Yeah, there is quite a bit of stuff anyway. Fill out copyright notice in description. GG. It's doing it a bit differently than what I am doing it at the moment, but So what is the file? I don't understand if it's defining the files or it's just relying on Unreal to actually give a name to the save game. It's not very clear actually. Maybe here. Find only variables with uProperties save game. Object name string proxy archive. Actor serialize. Oh shit. No, I was expecting to. Yeah, it's basically saving the U property of the actor, I see. But yeah, but if you have 1,000,000, you don't want to save them all, then why are you still saving them all? No, I mean, we want to save only stuff that we care about, I guess. Actor serialize. It's kind of cool though. That is kind of cool. So basically, is because we could give, right? We could give the actor. The problem is we could give the actor. Our actor are basically the rooms, right? Plus the doors and the endings. The problem is that they are way more than just. They are way more than just Unreal actors, right? So what I mean is that in the properties, we don't have, in our dungeon generation, right? If I take a dungeon room, well, actually, the majority of the properties are correct, but then, for example, we have this, right, which are the traps that we have spawned. And the traps, if I take this is also an actor. Yes, there is also an actor. This is also an actor with his properties. It is also an actor with his properties. I mean, there are some variables that are not U properties. I think just because I didn't need those to be, but because I'm not managing them from blueprints. But I mean, we can convert everything to U properties in case this is the only thing that is saved. Like, for example, this one, right, is a U property. This one, for whatever reason, is not. Which is a bit weird, actually. Why? That's kind of strange. Probably because this one is derived from the horizontal one, right? So is a ratio between that and, yeah, could be. Or it's generated with a line trace. Yeah, probably it's generated with a line trace. I think it is generated with a line trace, yeah. But how do we simulate this? How do we simulate this? It's not very easy. I think I need to create a separate project. Create some sample objects, or even import the dungeon rooms into that project, and then well, probably we already have it though, because we have yeah, I think we already have it, because I think we if I remember right, we created a separate project for the dungeon generation. Yes, it's this one, Dungeon Generation 4, right? So this one is our dungeon project, which was kind of working standalone, separately from... We're still 511. Well, we can also go at 511, but it's a bit risky. This guy said build successful. This guy said build successful. Should we try to launch it and see what it does, just for fun? I think we can do it. Compiling shaders. 6,000 to go. No. Compiling shaders, bro. Okay, while it's compiling shaders, let me just see. Now, because my idea was to say we create a structure which is saving the main properties of each object. But I don't know if that is a good strategy at the end, because if I take the dungeon room, I will have to save all of this anyway. Saving the dungeon may not be the easiest thing ever, huh? Saving the dungeon may not be as simple as I was thinking. Because in reality the dungeon needs... yeah, we need all these properties actually. We need all these properties with their... but I don't know if he's able to save something like this, right? Is it? Is it capable of saving and loading an array pointing to another actor? Because the other way would be to just save the type of rooms and then regenerate them, right? So basically going through the generation, but knowing already what you get and what you need. But also that is not super simple, because basically our dungeons start when we do the generate dungeon, right? Spawn the first room, right? So the difference will be that instead of doing the random, you will know the type of room, you will know the rotation, the position, but then it's not that simple, huh? It's not that simple. Hello, dotted fish. Why does dynamic dungeon have to be saved? Well, I mean, the idea to save the dungeon was because the server is going to crash sometimes. The server is crashing sometimes, right? And when the server crashes, you lose the dungeon. And if there is someone inside the dungeon, when they in a specific room, right? When the server restarts, they will find themselves in open space because the dungeon will not be there. So the idea was to create some sort of persistency. Some sort of persistency. Now, the problem is that our dungeons are fairly complex, right? Because they include rooms, doors, traps, monsters, lock on doors. Then they contain chest. They contain special pedestal. They contain secret walls. Right? So all of that, I mean, if I have to save all of that, I mean, I can, right? I mean, I'm sure I can. I mean, the feasibility, I mean, it's not that it's impossible. It's just that it is hard, right? Unless Unreal Engine is so smart that I tell him, like this guy's doing, right? Because what this guy's doing, and I want to see it in action maybe, but what this guy's doing, right, is calling this save game subsystem, is calling save on the actual actor. Right? We can test this and see what happens. But it's calling save on an actor, right? And then when it's loading, it's doing the opposite. You see here it's reading from the save game, and then it's taking the actor and it's saying serialize. Convert the actual save game U property into binary array, right? So, well, this is probably when it's saving, but then it's the same when it's loading, it's doing the opposite, right? So there is a save game, there is a load game, and here, right, load save game. So is iterating in all the actors of the world. The only problem, it looks like you already need to have the actor, and then you are only loading in. You see, so it seems that the actor is already there, and is loading in the data, which is basically the U properties. So What I imagine is having a really detailed progressive but very long dungeon where it would be nice to save progression. But true for Crash, I guess it makes sense. How can you save progression? I mean, our game is a real-time game. You don't save, so there is no save game in Plane Shift, right? You don't save progress and restart, right? So it's an MMO, is a persistent online world, so it's impossible to save. You cannot save progress. In other words, I respect the random dungeon to be rather short, let's say 20-30 minutes. Yeah, but still, the problem remains. Even if it's only one room, right? Even if it's only 2 rooms, right? So the dungeon has a specific... you've seen the dungeons, right? So they have specific textures, a specific layout, right? So they may be completely different from one to the other. Progress in a dungeon refers to taking down a certain boss. Ah, okay. So like, yeah, but we don't have any. I mean, in our world, everything is persistent. Nothing is instantiated. At least up to now, but I don't know in the future. But at the moment, nothing is instantiated, right? So a dungeon is the same dungeon for every player in the game. So if you enter a dungeon, anyone else on the server can enter the same dungeon and find you and start to kill your monsters, right? So there is no instantiation. It's not like in most of the games where you create your own reality, right? You create your own separate reality that is like an alternative parallel universe where you play separate from the game, right? So that's I mean, from the point of view of in character, that's a complete blasphemy, right? So you are basically destroying the immersion of the game completely. So you are generating dozens of dungeons in multiple parallel universes that does not make any sense. I mean, it completely destroys the roleplay, right? Instantly. But anyway, this is just how all the games work, so I understand. Because if you have a lot of players, you cannot really... But for us, it's not like that, right? So for us, the world is the world. It's one world. It's one world, one dungeon, one monster. So if you see a monster, it's the same guy that another player can see as well. So everything evolves for all the players. Hello, Yoko. Just auto-generate a random dungeon on restart and all inside will be returned to the start after the fallout of the map. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but this means that you will fall down, right? So if you are in the middle of the dungeon, you will fall, or you will be in a different room, right? So let's imagine that yeah, but that's a solution. That's a solution. So let's say that we have this dungeon, right? And your character is here, right? The server restarts, right? And the new dungeon that is generated, right, is like this, right? I mean, it's like this, like, I don't know, I can go on, right? But let's say that the new dungeon generated is... It may have some overlaps, right? May have some overlaps, but... So you reload, right? You reload and you find yourself in a completely different dungeon may be in another room, right? Or even worse, right? Even worse, the server generates a new dungeon that is I mean the start is always the same, so the start cannot be different, right? The start location, right? So generates a dungeon that is like this, where this location where you are doesn't exist, and so you're just going to fall forever out of the map, right? Now, what I could do, I could generate the dungeon and move all the players that were in the dungeon area, right, to the start of the new dungeon. So that would be like a... I mean, it would be a bit weird, right? Because the universe shattered and you reload and your universe is different, right? And the world is is different. So that's kind of annoying to me. It's kind of annoying from the persistence point of view. It's very annoying. While the way I wanted to do it, is to say no, the world is persistent, right? Didn't we have the dungeon thingy open? No. Okay. GG. I thought we had the wait, let me reopen it. Dungeon, procedural dungeon. Let me send it to paint so we have it. So my point would be, okay, there is a magic portal, right? There is a magic portal that is bringing you maybe it is too big. There is a magic portal, right, that is bringing you to dungeon number 1. And maybe that's permanent, right? Dungeon number 1 is permanent in our world until something happens, right? And what happens is that, I don't know, an NPC destroys this dungeon or makes it, I don't know, maybe just destroys it or destroys the portal and another portal appears, you know, but the idea would be that it's kind of a permanent thingy. And the same can happen with a cavern. So this thing can be a cavern, right? So I can, if I want, instead of having the dungeon pieces that we have today, I could use the cavern pieces. And so we could create a cavern that is randomized. And we can have that semi-permanent, right? So I could generate like 10 of them and then scatter them around the map with entrances. And those are semi-permanent until we decide that they have to go, right? And they have to go because, I don't know, the players completely destroyed it, or a tribe like decided to dig new tunnels. I don't know, something like that, right? So that it's more of a permanent world than not. Hello, Marcelo. Sometime I don't see you. How are you? Is that random is not really random? So save a seed number and all random generated number at base of that seed. So the dungeon, but it doesn't work like that. Our dungeon generation is not seed based. It's random based. It's not seed based. I mean, I could change it maybe to make it, but there are so many things, right? So many variables. But yeah, I could in theory have a seed that we are sure that generates always the same. I don't know. But then it means that I have to randomize the seed, right? But yeah, I understand what you mean. If the wall dungeon is generated based on a seed and the seed is... But we have variables, right? We have variables, so it's not just that, because there is something that, so the seed should contain. It's not a bad idea, Marcelo. It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea, I think. But there is additional complexity, because there is an additional layer of complexity on top of that. And the additional layer of complexity is that our dungeon, which by the way at the moment in game I think is not generated, right? Let me see, dungeon status. No, it's not generated, so we can generate it. But because every time we crash, the dungeon is gone, right? So we have additional variables that we can decide, right? So we can decide that our dungeon has, I don't know, 22 rooms, right? Of which 7 are raid rooms, right? We can decide that the difficulty is, I don't know, 7, and the loot quality is 7. We can decide what is the wall skin, being gray, red, blue, or we can just randomize it. The trap damage, if it's fire, ice, nature, energy, poison, disease. This is to be improved a bit, but it's not really working as we want. And the same for the NPC damage type. We can decide a reset timer. We can decide if there's a riddle at the end. So if I have to create a seed, right? My seed could be... My seed could be a number where the number of rooms is the first 2 digits, and then the raid rooms is the next digit, and the difficulty is the next digit, and the loot quality is the next digit, and the wall skin is the next digit, and the traffic is next digit, next digit, next digit, next digit, next digit. And then on top of that, I have my seed, right? Which is 123, right? So basically, it's a seed that is made of a number of properties, right? A number of properties plus the actual seed. And then what I will have to do, I will have to have kind of an algorithm that transform this seed in a way that it is giving me, because every time in the code I do a randomization, right? Every time in the code I do random in a range, right? I should say no, use 123, right? So, and then by changing the wall code here and having it based on a seed fully, then I could, yes, regenerate the same dungeon again. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think when I designed I think when I designed the dungeon generator, I didn't really design it. How there can be one player in the dungeon? Is it me? There is one player in the dungeon? Strange. Just enter now, or why? Kind of weird. Anyway, when I designed the dungeon generator, I didn't make it so that it can be predictable through a seed, right? I didn't do it like that. And so now now changing it to be seed based is not very simple. I mean, it is possible, but you know, when I have the dungeon done, right, it's not too crazy to read the properties. I mean, we don't have 1,000,000 properties at the end. I mean, we have a number. I mean, we have a lot, but you know, for example, the base rooms, right, is not that hard. I say I have one room of type, I don't know, this one, for example, I don't know, is room, I'm getting better with the left hand. This one is room 1, right? So the model is room 1, and I just need the rotation and the position, right, to put it in place. So it's not that crazy. If I just have to save the room location, it's very simple, I would say, because my structure will be the blueprint. So basically the room blueprint, and location and rotation, right? So three parameter, an array of 3 parameters, and I recreate the whole dungeon. Then the problem are the doors, the traps, the endings, the loot, the main loot and the furniture loot, the monsters, right? So there is a lot of stuff, but I could save that thing as soon as I generate it, right? It could be saved. I don't think is impossible. I think is very possible. And I think it's probably simpler, right? If I think about it, I think it's simpler than having a seed generated dungeon. I don't even understand fully how you use the seed, right? Because basically, okay, you have a very, very big number, and then you scale it down to... I don't understand it fully. I don't understand how do you... So, for example, I have 123, right? I have 123 as a number. And this is my seed, right? And then I have to generate a door that is actually here. And this door can be of 3 types, right? A gate, a broken gate, a normal door. So what do? I take 123 out of 200 and I scale it down, right? And I scale, so from 0 to 200, like I consider that this is from 0 to 200, and I scale it down. So for example, I say that my range is 0 to 200, right? And our number is 123. So what I do, I scale it down. I scale down my 123 from 0 to 2, which are my current option for the door. And so 123 will be 1, right? Will be 1. And so I take the option 1. Is this how the seed works? But then it means that if I have 123, I'm basically getting all the middle options of everything, which I don't know if it's really what I want. So it doesn't really look like randomization to me. It looks like kind of a shitty randomization. Or another way is that you have a very long number of tables, right? You have many tables where you say 1, so where you have the pseudo random generation. So basically you have a sequence of numbers, very long sequence of numbers that is predetermined. So you have like 1, 6, 8, 3, 2, what happened? Okay, that. And then you have 2, come on. And then you have 2, 6, oh fuck, it's another 6. 9, 7, 3, 2, right? And you pick, so there is a kind of a pseudo generation. And so you pick only the first number. So your first number is your seed, right? The first number is your seed, and you can have as many seeds as you want, right? And when you pick the seed number 2, this will be the sequence of random numbers you're gonna use, right? The sequence of number you're gonna use for the generation. So it's basically a fake randomization. So you are pre-randomizing, storing it, and then you pick one. But how many can you make, right? I mean, you need like thousands. So I don't know. But yeah, probably the seed is done this way. I think the seed is done this way. So with a predetermined series of numbers, and then you choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah. Random float from stream. So yeah, so he's basically taking it from an existing stream, right? But I don't know if it's a good idea. I think it gives you a way more fake randomization. So I think the result is worst in terms of dungeon. Random streams. Random streams allow repeatable random numbers to be generated and used inside a blueprint or level blueprint, as well as animated blueprint for animations. Choosing one function should have all place. Random unit vector from stream, random float from stream, random rotator from stream. The initial seed property is used to calculate the stream of random values. The sequence of random value produced from a single seed will always be the same. Yeah. So they have a predefined, right? Predefined sequence of numbers. But the question is, what if I... Yeah, I think it may work. Yes, I think it may work, because anyway, even selecting the room, right? Even selecting the room can be a choice, and so I think is a possibility. I think it may be a possibility. But this means I have to... So every time I have like this, right? I have fmat, right? This will not be anymore that, but it will be... Is the stream infinite or not? Probably it is infinite. A new initial seed is generated per instance of the blueprint. This means each time an instance of a blueprint is placed in a world or a duplicate of an existing instance is made, each random string variable belonging to the bloom is a new initial seed value. Modifying the initial seed. To set the initial seed properly directly on the variable, the random seed string variable must be exposed for editing. Within a blueprint graph, you can also set the initial seed to a specific value or a new random value. Yeah, it's very interesting actually. It is a bit weird, but it is. No, I'm thinking I'm thinking how I need to change the code. So basically, every rand range, right? Every rand range becomes a rand from stream, right? With a seed, and the seed is randomized at the beginning and then saved, and so we only save the seed. I think my question is what is the quality of the randomized numbers, but probably it's good. I don't know. I mean, obviously the sequence, right? The sequence makes a difference. So the input parameters must be the same as well. But that's fine because I can save the input parameters and I can save the seed, and then I can regenerate it all. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Random stream. Random stream. Random stream. F random stream. F random streams. What do you mean very bad quality? What the fuck? Why is saying very bad quality in the lower bits? Why very bad quality? How do I use it? How do I use this thing in C++? Initial seed, and then okay, initialize is fine, but then generate new seed, okay, get fraction, okay. Returns a random number between 0 and max uint. Yeah, but I need all the range. Probably is rescaling them in the blueprint. I know it is, rand range. Yeah, there are all the rand ranges actually. There are all the rand range, F rand range, V rand point. I mean, I'm interested how they do it though. So for example, if I say get a random, get a random number, right? This one between 0. So how does it do it? Mutate seed. So yeah, he has a function that is actually seed multiply by this fixed number plus this thing. Holy fuck. So the whole logic is this. Oh my god. The whole logic is this thing. There is your random thingy, so you apply just a standard plus and multiply algorithm and that's it. I mean, I would like to test it actually. I would like to test it just to understand what it does, right? Let me see what this thing does, by the way. This project that we just created, right? That we just can we go? That we just compiled. Okay. Wow, the position, bro. We don't know what to do, but I don't know if wow, they killed me. Nice, the chest. Sorry, I only have one hand, so I can move or rotate. Isn't there a gun anyway? They are shooting themselves anyway, so which is not bad. Okay, anyway. Okay, let me try 1 second these random streams, because I think anyway it's an interesting thing. We can try it on a separate project for 1 second, right? I think it would be interesting to do anyway. So, do we have a project that we can mess up without the project being too complex, right? So we need a project which is actually simple, like this blank project. Well, blank project, we really have nothing though. Let me try blank project. So my question is, if I ask to generate 1000 integers between 0 and 10, what will be the distribution? That's my question, right? So is the random stream giving me an even distribution, or is it completely random distribution? Which may be very skewed, right? And which may be okay as well, but I'm thinking... Oh my god, the shaders is a blank project. How can a blank project have many shaders? 1300, boys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, let me start to check while this is running. How do I create a save game? How do I define a save game structure in C++? I mean, do I really want to do it in C++? Well, I can also do it in blueprints, and then... but the idea would be that I need a save game C++ define structure, right? He's probably modeling it in... He's probably modeling the structure. Let me see. Yeah, he's modeling anyway the structure with a blueprint. No. He's doing it full C++. He's doing it full C++. Okay. Ah, okay. Just like that. Okay. So you create a new class derived from save game, and then you put inside a number of view properties. That's it. Okay. So in our case will be... in our case, I don't know what it will be. Because it will be... a series of... No, because... You know what is the problem I have? Is that I can save all the rooms, I can save all the doors, I can save all the chests, and I can actually recreate them, right, when I load. But then I will have to populate... all these properties, right? Like this, loot locations, right? So these loot locations... Well, that's not really true though, because these ones are defined based on the room. Yes. Yeah. So no, these ones are already populated because these are defined in the room blueprint. The problem is that I need to say which one of these loot locations is actually used. So this set, I don't have to recreate anything. But the instance ones I have to create. Yeah, exactly. The instance I need to create. Yes, and also the doors. I don't know where the doors are kept. Probably they are kept all on the trap instance, trap invisible instance. Yeah. No, that's good because actually we only have 2 variables to populate. All the rest is populated by the type of room, so that by the blueprint. So it's already done. I just need to say which ones are actually, yeah. So I will have to do a pass at the end of my loading to actually populate these instances. Because then the doors, I think that the doors are actually kept in my dungeon. No? Where do we have all the instances? Huh? They are not here? Holy fuck, how long is this freaking dungeon generation? Ah, here they are. Yes. Okay, so in reality, it is a bit easier because the ending, the door, the secret ending, the pedestal, the furniture, the loot, the NPC, the teleport, blah blah blah, are all stored in the dungeon room. I mean, sorry, in the dungeon object. In the dungeon object, right? So my save game could be dungeon, boom, 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 this actors, and then rooms, location and position with their trap instances, right? So, I mean, it's still complex, but I think it's still complex, but I think it's reasonable, right? Okay, this is our blank project. I like that. Can I? Oh, I can also move. I don't have a pawn, but we have. Very nice. Okay, I think we can do it in the level blueprint, no? In the level blueprint, yeah. Let's do it in the level blueprint, so it's the easiest way, right? So we wanted to have what? An F random sequence? No. What was the thing? We wanted to have a random stream. Okay. We wanted to have a random stream. Okay. And this random stream can have a seed, right? I understand that. Yes. My initial seed can be... How big can this number be? Okay, is an integer, so maximum 2 billions. Okay, maximum 2 billions. I guess fine. We can take 1 billion and 100, whatever. So that's the seed, right? So we have a maximum of 2 billion seeds, which seem to... Can it be negative? Can it be minus this? In theory it can. I don't know if it will work, but it can be. So probably it's more than 2 billions, it's 4 billions. Okay, so now that we have this random stream seed, right? I would like to do a for loop, right? I would like to do a for loop. I would like to do a for loop of 1000 items. So from 0 to 999. And I would like to use... what is going on? Why my PC is... we are at maximum FPS here. Max FPS 30. Okay, now we should slow down. So okay, so I want to get my random stream, right? And I want to generate a rand in range. A rand integer in range from stream. Yep, exactly. Between 0 and 2. Between 0 and 2. Right? And the result, right? And the result, I want to switch on int, right? And if it's 0, 1 or 2, right? I want to have... What happened? Can I change the name? I don't know what happened. Zeros. Okay. Ones. Twos. So I will basically count whatever this guy is doing, right? I will count what this guy is randomizing. To understand the quality of the randomization. You may say, well, it's random. How can you evaluate the quality? Well, I mean, it should be reasonably distributed, right? Now we can evaluate the sequence. I mean, if they are in a, you know, but yeah. And so when this is completed, we will just print something, right? We will print zeros, ones, and twos. I mean, you may say, why the hell you're doing this? You don't trust Unreal? Well, I mean, I trust it, but at the same time, I would like to understand what it's doing. Yeah, maybe it's a bit useless, right? But, you know... Okay. So there is only 1,000 numbers, right? On 1,000 numbers, yup, randomizing between 0 and 2. Is this correct or no? Maybe. What? Save level as? Okay, save. So it is 332 zeros, 330 ones, 335 twos. So yeah, it's very well distributed. It is interesting. So actually it's not bad, huh? Distribution seems to be reasonable. Now the sequence we don't know. So if I change the seed, 338, 347, 315. Oh wow. Here is very different, but still reasonable, right? So it's like 315 twos, 338, 347. So actually there is a bit of a variance here with this other seed, right? And if I run the same seed again, I get the same result, right? Yeah, but it's, at least for what I can see, is not bad. Three, 337, 338, 325. It seems that the twos are always the lowest, but okay, we just tried a few numbers, so probably is not the case, but yeah, like in this case is not. Like in this case is not. I'm just trying different random seeds and see what I get, right? Oh wow. 306, 356. This is very different. But yeah, in theory, we could also try something like that, right? Because it seems reasonable anyway. 333, 301, 366. I mean, the variance is significant, right? The variance is very significant. I can do 9,000. You know, I can do 10,000. Variance is like reasonable. Still reasonable. I mean, the variance is less than 1%, right? Well, less than 5%. But anyway, I mean, it's kind of... It's not that we are getting 90% of 2, right? So it seems that anyway the randomization is evenly distributed somehow. Which is kind of strange. I don't fully understand how this may work, right? But it's cool anyway. Thank you, Marcellum, for pointing me to this. I think it's cool. I think we may use it. I have to think about it, but I think it's I mean, it's a possibility, right? So basically, the possibility would be to change our code. I mean, I think we can try, but so basically to change our code, right? In the dungeon to use a random thingy, a random stream, right? And then save the seed along with the properties that you have selected at the beginning. And then when the server starts, he will have to basically regenerate the dungeon, right? Basically call this function with the seed. I mean, I think we can try. I think we may try, and it may be actually simpler than may actually be simpler than doing the save and load. Now, what this will not allow is if for any reason I want to build a dungeon myself. So let's imagine that I want to build a dungeon myself, right? I want to build it made of pieces in the future, right? In the future, I build a dungeon made of pieces, and then I want to save it, and then I want to load it, right? So this system obviously will not work, right? So the random seed, because you will never be able to have a random seed that gives you what you want, right? Unless you try you try like all of them. And we have 2 billions. We have 2 billion seeds. Let me see if I go negative, what happens. If I do minus, I have to go, by the way. If I do minus, what happens? 3369, 3317. This window's so annoying. 3369, 3317. 33, yeah, it's different. So actually the seed can go from minus 2 billions to plus 2 billions. And so it can, we have 4 billions different possibilities, which is a lot, right? I mean, it's really a lot. I think it's really a lot. So we cannot say that we have too little, right? We have too few, right? I don't know. I will think about it. I think we may use it. I think we may use it. Okay, but now I have to go, guys. So thank you for watching. I will be here tomorrow evening at 9:30 p.m. European time. I don't know if we will work on this or on something else. I have to decide. But yep. Meanwhile, if you want to click on follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, that will help us and it's free for you. Also, if you want to download our game, you can go to our main website and the game is available to download for Windows, Linux and Mac. So do it! See you. Bye-bye.